So I'm extremely excited to be welcoming you all to this session on using Zoho SalesIQ's answer bots, the NLP-based virtual support assistants. Before we jump into the webinar, I just want to know if I'm audible and if my screen is visible to all of you that have joined the session. Please leave a message in the chat box in case you're not able to hear me or if my screen is not visible. And in case you're not able to fix this, you don't have to worry about it. Don't sweat it. We'll send you a follow-up email along with the recording and the slide deck. So I'm just assuming that everything is well and I'm jumping into the webinar. So we hope you're all staying safe during the pandemic and all of you are in the pink of health. I'm Michelle from the Zoho SalesIQ team, and I'm going to be taking you through this very, very interesting and engaging session on answer bots, one of the most awaited features inside Zoho SalesIQ. So we have our product experts on the panel here to answer your questions, so keep them coming. First, let me tell you how today's session has been planned and what topics will be covered. First, I'll be talking about Zoho SalesIQ's offerings with respect to building bots for your business website and how each of them have their unique features and advantages, followed by an introduction to the answer bot and the benefit of using one for your business. Then I'll talk about and show you how to set up an answer bot and deploy it on your site along with a quick demo, how to configure resources to empower your bot, and finally, we'll wind up with a tiny activity. So I'm as excited as you are. So without any further ado, let's get started. So Zoho SalesIQ, a live chat and customer engagement software, as all of you know, offers many different platforms with respect to bot building, such as SalesIQ Scripts, Dialog Flows, Zia Skills, Webhooks, and Watson Assistant to help you build Zobots. So let me tell you about these different platforms and how each of these platforms are unique in their own way. So SalesIQ Scripts is a bot building platform that uses Deluge as its online scripting language. And with this platform, you can create the bot of your dreams. So this means you can customize every single feature of the bot from scratch to match your business requirements. So this platform mainly functions on something called handlers. And these handlers are where the code for the bot is added to define all of the functionalities. So this one is one platform that works on full-fledged Deluge code. So if you're someone who loves to code, then this particular platform is for you. You also have the no-code version of this platform, which is the codeless bot. So you don't have to worry if you're not a big fan of code or if you aren't a Deluge expert. The codeless bot platform is here to stay. So this one will let you build a lot of powerful bots without you having to write even a single line of code. So all you have to do is design a complete flowchart using a bunch of drag and drop elements and let SalesIQ do all the building for you. So instead of writing 1,000 lines of code for a single use case, you can just add blocks that will define each action that has to be performed by the bot and publish it on your website. So you actually need just 5 to 10 minutes of your time to completely design a bot and deploy it on your website. Amazing, right? Then you have Zoho's NLP platform, Zia Skills. So this is a conversational bot building assistant. This platform uses natural language understanding to process and perform a lot of different skills and actions to respond to visitor queries. And with Zia's developer console, you can define a lot of unique set of actions depending on your requirements. So here you can either directly answer to a question, or you can construct an answer by fetching data from SalesIQ and perform an operation dynamically based on the visitor. So you basically expand Zia's abilities by developing a lot of new skills. So you can teach Zia to answer questions about your business, interact with custom modules, or update any third-party software. And this again has two options. You can create skills with full-on code, and you can create no-code skills. So if you need simple AI-based message passing and related actions, you can choose this platform. Next, we have in the limelight our star of the day, answer bots that work based on your knowledge base. I'm not going to tell you a lot about the platform right away because I want to keep the surprise a little longer. So I'll tell you about every aspect of this platform once we're done with all of the introductions. So Zobots also offer one-click integrations with a lot of different existing chatbot frameworks. So SalesIQ has been designed to let you use platforms that you're familiar with, platforms like Dialogflow, Watson Assistant, and Microsoft Azure. So if you're an end-to-end Google user, you can choose Dialogflow. Those of you that are part of the IBM family can choose Watson Assistant, and those of you that have been using Microsoft can opt for the Azure platform, so that you don't really have to limit your bot building to just the SalesIQ Scripts platform or to any other Zoho platform for that matter. And for those of you that already have a fully built bot engine, you can just simply integrate it with the Zobot platform using a feature called webhooks. With so many different options on your plate, why are we insisting you on setting up answer bots for your business website? Let me tell you why. So every business has hundreds and thousands of customers or visitors that land on it every single day. So there must be someone who's available 24/7 and can take over for your operators when they are busy or unavailable and keep answering all the non-stop queries that come in from visitors. This is where these bots come into play. So support representatives in any business spend a considerable amount of time and effort in answering the same set of repeated basic questions time and again. So this happens with every business. So this results in them not being able to focus their attention on visitors who have comparatively more serious issues or complex questions. Sometimes this even causes them to miss out on potential leads. Say you own a small business and at the moment you only have 2 operators to handle all of your support queries. If your only operators end up answering all the basic questions like the ones about the services offered on your website, they might end up missing out on someone who really wants to sign up and start using your services. So handling visitors with basic queries efficiently while also focusing on other valuable leads has become the need of the hour. This is where the answer bot has your back. It acts like a layer between your visitors and your operators, a layer that handles all visitors with basic redundant queries with the help of your knowledge base, and then leaves a crucial part to your operators. So what is the answer bot? What is it actually? So this is a smart NLP-based resource-powered support assistance in Zoho SalesIQ 2.0 that can simulate a conversation with a website visitor in natural language. So these bots will use articles, FAQs, and Smalltalk from your resource module, and they will respond to visitor queries. All you have to do is train these bots with your fully built knowledge base. So when a visitor comes up with a basic or a frequently asked question, your answer bots will analyze the query and return a matching article or an FAQ based on keywords. It's as simple as that. The working is as simple as that. So you can set up an answer bot in about 5 minutes because, whenever a brand is created or set up inside Zoho SalesIQ, an answer bot for the corresponding brand will be created automatically. So the bot will be created using the brand name alias along with the default configuration. What are the benefits of having an answer bot on your website? So whenever you deploy an answer bot on your website, you are offloading your support representatives a little. So you can basically lighten the burden of their burden of answering first level queries related to the business and instead allow them to dedicate their time and effort to more complex queries. Let me quickly show you how these answer bots work on a website. So here I have a travel website as an example, and I have an answer bot deployed on it. So let me just send out a message. So here is the bot. So my bot is called Zach, and this is an answer bot. that has been equipped to answer queries that come in from the visitor with resources from my knowledge base. So since this is a business website, let's assume that I've already made business trip planning and I want to cancel my trip. So I'm just going to send in a message related to that. All right, so let me talk about. Do you see this? So here the bot has sent me a related article about what is included inside the payment. So when I click on this, an article is going to open right here and I can read all about it. So when I talk about travel protocol, the bot is throwing up some articles right here. So travel protocols regarding quarantine and mandatory travel protocols for 2021. So similarly, you can feed a lot of articles inside your knowledge base, and you can equip your answer bot to answer queries that come from your visitors. So these answer bots are more than just keyword search. So they actually analyze the intent of your visitors' queries or your visitors' messages and then send out a lot of related suggestions from your knowledge base. All right. So now that you know how these answer bots function on a website, if you want to set up a bot similar to this for your own business website, I'll tell you how to configure this. So moving on to answer bot configuration. So to activate the answer bot inside your brand, you need to configure 4 different sections. You have the bot profile, you have resources, you have response configuration, and behavior configuration. So I will tell you about each of these steps by directly showing you how to set up a bot inside the SalesIQ 2.0 UI. So this is my SalesIQ portal. So here I will navigate to settings and I will navigate to answer bot. So I'm going to show you a bot that has already been set up. So whenever you create a new brand, so you have brands here under personalized. So whenever you add a new brand inside Zoho SalesIQ, an answer bot for that particular brand is going to be generated automatically with the brand name as Alias. So I'm just going to show you a bot that has already been created, an answer bot. So I'm just going to click on this. This one is called Zilker Travels Bot. So here inside the bot profile section, you can give your bot a name, and then you can also add a picture or an avatar for your bot. Then you add a description for your bot so that your visitors can know more about how your bot can help them and to understand the personality of the bot he or she is interacting with. Then you can set working hours for your bots. So your bot can take over when your operators are not available or are busy. You can even configure your bot to assist visitors after standard business hours. So you can choose from the following options. You have round the clock, standard business hours, non-business hours, or only when your operators are offline. So then you can associate departments of your choice. So the bot will only pick up visitor chats that are directed to the corresponding departments. And you need to remember that you can only choose from departments that are associated with the brand that the answer bot has been generated for. And private and disabled departments will not be displayed for selection. So here all departments have been selected. So I can just delete one of them or 2 of them. So anything according to my own requirements. So I'm clicking on save and I will click on next. So before I click on next, I want to tell you about this particular window. So there's a preview window on the right side of the screen, similar to the one that you have inside the Zobot platform of SalesIQ. where you can keep reviewing all of the changes that you make at each stage of setting up your answer bot. So this particular window will give you an idea of what each configuration will look like inside the live chat window of your website. I'm going to click on next. The next step is selecting resources. So resources are the brain of the answer bot. So these resources, when I say resources, I mean your FAQs, articles, and Smalltalk. So these are the ones that will be used to train your answer bot. So the bot will use these resources to analyze queries that come in from your visitors and answer them. So your resources module basically has to be perfect and strong for this answer bot to function effectively. You need to have a considerable amount of resources to improve the efficiency and the accuracy of replies that are given by the bot. So we recommend having a minimum of 50 resources in each category, because the more the resources, the more powerful your bot will be. And a strong resource base for the answer bot will reduce the workload of your operators and in turn increase the resolution rate of the bot. So inside the select resources section, you can either choose FAQs or articles, or you can choose both. Then you will have to select a Smalltalk package. So a package is basically a collection of the possible informal phrases that a visitor can send during a conversation and the corresponding responses that can be given by the bot. So the default package will be selected here by default, but you can choose the package of your choice. I'll tell you about what each of these resources are and where you can configure them during the later part of this session. You don't have to worry about it. So once you're done selecting your resources, you will click on next. And step 3 will be response configuration. So in this particular section, you can configure the functioning of the answer bot for 3 different cases, the 3 different cases that you see here. So the first one being answer found. So if the bot knows the answer to a visitor's query, it will pick up the right article or the FAQ and display it as a response to the visitor's query. This is answer found. So here in this section, you will enter the suggestion prefix text. This is the text that will be displayed above the list of articles that the bot displays to your visitor. Then you can enable or disable follow-up actions using this toggle button. Then you can choose the follow-up actions that you want to set up for your bot. You have 3 different options right here. So these actions are completely customizable. You can customize the text that you want to display for each of these follow-up actions. And you need to remember that when you enable follow-up actions, you need to choose at least one follow-up action for the bot. So you can't just enable the toggle and not select any of these options. A minimum of 1 follow-up action has to be chosen. The second case is answer not found. So if the bot does not know the answer to a visitor query and does not find any matching articles or FAQs, that becomes a no match. So in this section, again, you will configure the text that has to be displayed in the chat window when no FAQ or article matches the visitor's query. Then you can also configure the bot to display related resources when it does not find the articles or FAQs that match the visitor's query perfectly. So the answer bot in SalesIQ, like I had mentioned, is way more than just keyword match. It analyzes intents and entities in your visitor query and returns related resources. Let us consider a simple example. Say you have a visitor who comes with a query about setting up Zoho SalesIQ on his website. Let's say his query goes like this. How do I install the SalesIQ code on my website? But I only have an article in my knowledge base that says, how can I set up Zoho SalesIQ for my website? So there's a difference in the usage of words, right? The visitor's query said, how do I install SalesIQ on my website? But my article has been titled, how can I set up Zoho SalesIQ for my website? So what happens in this case? The answer bot does a keyword search here, and when it doesn't find the perfect match, it'll analyze the intent and returns this article in my knowledge base as a related suggestion. something on the lines of, I don't have what you asked for, but here's something that might be of use to you. So this related resource can either be an article or an FAQ. So that's how well this platform has been designed. And you can enable or disable the related resource suggestion using this toggle button. Then you can enter the suggestion text to be displayed when related articles are listed in the visitor's chat window. And again, you can enable or disable follow-up actions like you did for answer found. We have the next category, fallbacks. So this actually gets invoked if there is an unexpected failure in the configuration and the bot couldn't fetch or respond to the visitor's question. So here you will configure the failure handler text, the text to be displayed if there is an unexpected failure in configuration. So here you have 3 different cases. You have operators busy, operator non-availability, and system failure. Again, like in all other sections, you can enable or you can enable follow-up actions. And when you enable follow-up actions, again, you need to remember that you will have to choose at least one follow-up action for the bot. So once all of the response configuration is done, you will click on next. And we move on to the 4th and final step of our configuration, behavior configuration. So inside this section, you can configure the different behavioral aspects of your answer bot. The first one is setting the proactive interaction criteria. So choose when you want the bot to trigger your website visitor with a greeting message. So you can enable or disable this particular option with the toggle button. You can set the trigger when the visitor lands on your website and spends a couple of seconds or minutes when he or she clicks on the chat widget or when they perform a custom action. Then you configure the greeting message that you want the bot to send out to your visitor when the condition is satisfied. This can either be in text format or JSON format. Then you can set up the time for which the bot typing status must be displayed to your visitors. So you choose to show the bot typing status to your visitors to create a human-like conversation process. And then we have chat inactivity actions. So these are rules to notify the visitor that he or she has been idle on the website for a considerable amount of time during the chat. So based on the inactivity time set in this particular section, the bot can send out messages to the visitor and end the corresponding conversation. So here you set the time after which a warning message will be sent to the visitor saying that their chat will end soon because he or she has been idle. And you can add more than one message in this section by clicking on add another message. Then you can set the time after which the chat has to end and then configure the message that will be displayed when the bot does so. Finally, we have the allowing handoff to an operator option. So you need to enable this option if you want to let your visitors connect to an operator in the middle of their conversation with the bot. So this option is going to let the bot transfer chats to a human agent inside your organization. So here you will again configure the handoff text. Then you choose a response here. So you have 3 options here to choose from: yes, sure, and why not. And you can choose one of your choice, and this will be displayed to the visitor inside the chat window. And when the visitor clicks this text, the chat will be forwarded to an operator in your organization, and they can pick it up and answer the query. And when you're done with all of this, you will have the deploy option right here. So you click deploy and your answer bot will be ready to be deployed on your website and assist website visitors. So here we don't see the deploy option because I have been showing you the entire configuration process inside an existing answer bot. So I only have the done option. So once I click on done, if I'm editing an existing answer bot, all of my changes will be saved at this point. So here inside the Answer Bot dashboard, you will be able to see all of the usage statistics of your Answer Bot inside the section, the number of chats it has attended, the number of times the chat was transferred to an operator, the number of chats that were solved, and the working hours of the bot. All of these informations will be displayed, and who had last updated the configurations inside this particular bot. So if you want to enable or disable a particular bot that has been deployed on a website, you can just click on this toggle. So it will be disabled, and when you want to enable it, you will just have to click on the toggle again, and it turns green. So let me just quickly move on to the next section in our presentation. So the next section will talk about all of the resources that you can use to train your answer bot. So like I mentioned earlier, resources are the brain of your answer bot. So these FAQs, articles, Smalltalk are the ones that will be used to train your AI bot to respond to visitor queries. So the bot will use these resources to analyze the queries and answer them. So your resources module has to be built perfectly and very strong. It has to be very strong for the bot to function effectively. So here are the list of resources that will help you equip your answer bot. The first one is articles. So articles in Zoho SalesIQ are a collection of self-service materials that you can draft inside your SalesIQ dashboard and display in a chat or share with customers during a live conversation. So articles help you add all of the questions that are frequently asked by customers on a website, and you can let visitors access these articles right from their chat window. That's one option. And you can also configure your answer bot to respond to visitor queries with them. So these articles are the most expandable form of help that you can offer to visitors who visit your website. And these articles also save visitors the trouble of navigating from one screen to another in search of help. And your bots can share articles during customer conversations instead of having to type out responses all the time in response to queries. The more the number of articles, the more powerful your answer bot will be. So when you have a sturdy article collection, the functioning of your answer bot becomes super effective and super smooth, because the bot gets trained to answer any question that comes in any form from the visitor. So at this point, I also want to tell you that you have the option of syncing articles from Zoho Desk to your SalesIQ knowledge base. So let me just show you as I talk about it. So if you have a group of articles published in your Zoho Desk knowledge base and you want to show or display them in your chat window, all you need to do is use real-time article sync from Desk to Zoho SalesIQ. And once this is done, your bot can share articles that have also been synced from your Desk knowledge base. And to start syncing articles inside your SalesIQ dashboard, you will navigate to settings, developers, and then you will go to integrations and click on Zoho Desk. I think there's a problem with the desk integration. So all you have to do is navigate to your Zoho Desk configurations, and under this section, you will have an option to enable the sync Zoho Desk knowledge base with Zoho SalesIQ articles option. So you can sync all of the published articles that are available in Zoho Desk inside Zoho SalesIQ. And when articles are synced from Zoho Desk, article categories can be mapped to the departments inside Zoho SalesIQ separately. So you can also configure the schedule for the sync. You can either configure it to be maybe daily, weekly, or monthly. You can set the time zone and the time at which you want the sync to happen. So all of these synced articles will be viewed inside your resources section under articles. And these articles will also have a distinct tag that will tell you that these articles have been synced from Zoho Desk. And you can select all of the articles that have been synced, select all of the articles that you want to publish, and then you can click on publish to publish them all together. Moving on to the next set of resources, FAQs. So FAQs are a list of common questions that visitors have asked about your product or your service that you can add to your knowledge base. So these FAQs can be shared by both bots and by operators during conversations. So when the intent of the visitor's query matches any of the FAQs, then the following answer will be suggested by the bot on the chat window. So you can, inside the FAQ section, you can add up to 5 variants for each question, 5 variants for each FAQ. And the one marked with a tick mark will be set as the default question. So this will mainly train your bot to answer the same question even when the question is framed differently. You can add related articles for each FAQ from the list of articles that are available for your organization. You know, when a related article is added to an FAQ, the article will also be displayed by the bot as a card inside the chat window after the FAQ has been displayed to the visitor. Also, when you have a strong FAQ section for your business, the answer bot feature will have more information to draw from, and this will again increase the resolution rate of your bot. The next set of resources are UAQs, unanswered questions. So this section consists of a collection of all of the questions asked by visitors that the answer bot has managed to find intents from, but could not find appropriate answers to. So when the bot does not know the answer to one of the questions that your visitor asks during a conversation, the aforesaid question will be recorded here inside this section. So only the first question from the visitor with a particular intent is populated here in the UAQ listing screen. Then based on the intent of the following questions, the number of occurrences is increased by 1 each time a question with the same intent is asked. So this one also strengthens your resources module. It helps you understand what customers are looking for inside your product and what they expect from you. And it can help you improve the quality of the resources that you have inside your portal for your business, and also improves customer self-support. So the lesser the number of UAQs, the stronger your resource module. So what actions can be performed with these UAQs? So there are 4 different actions, like how you see on the screen, that you can perform with each of these UAQs. You can add them as a new FAQ, you can add them as a new article, associate with an FAQ, or you can associate UAQs with a department. So you can add the question to the list of existing FAQs that you have inside your knowledge base. You can associate it to an existing FAQ. So if they have the same context, you can associate those two. You can draft an article that addresses the UAQ, and then you can add it to your knowledge base. And these articles will be available to your bots to share during conversations. You can also associate it with a different department. When this particular option is chosen, a list of all the available departments will be displayed, and you can choose one from the list. So let me help you understand this better with an example. Say the website visitor has purchased a product from your online store, but wants to return it for a specific reason. The visitor asks the bot about the refund policy on your website, but at that instant, the bot couldn't find any resources to answer. So in this particular scenario, this particular question from the visitor will be recorded inside the UAQ section inside resources. And based on this, you can start drafting an article or an FAQ that your bots can share during future conversations. You can fill in all of the details regarding your refund policy, and you can add it as an article or an FAQ. And the UAQ section consists of all the questions that the bot does not know answers to, Operators inside your portal can also use this collection and draft articles to address queries. So this will basically help your bots answer the same questions the next time a visitor comes in with a same query. Moving on to the next one, Smalltalk. So Smalltalk is an informal and non-functional discourse or response that provides a sense of human touch to any bot conversation. So this discourse can be of any type, starting from a greeting to signing off and more like that. In SalesIQ, this Smalltalk module lets you configure phrases and responses, which one or more answer bots can use to converse with your visitors. So you can define Smalltalk in the form of packages for various styles of conversations. Say, for example, casual conversations. You can say, you can add Smalltalk like, hey there, hello, and all of that. And for professional ones, you can say greetings or good morning or good evening or anything of that sort. You can create small talk for academic purposes, etc. So a customizable phrase response set that comprises of different categories of small talk is called a small talk package. So these small talk packages can be very beneficial if your business runs across multiple domains that require different conversation styles. So all of the categories that you have inside the Smalltalk module, you can see here. You have greetings, courtesy, you have personal inquiries, support, and sign off. You can also duplicate packages that you create inside the Smalltalk module. And for every category, you will add a phrase and the corresponding response. So as you can see here, you can also add dynamic text inside the Smalltalk module. The next category of resources are business terms. So in SalesIQ, business terms are basically a collection of terminologies that you use as synonyms when referring to the same thing. For example, in SalesIQ, operators, agents, and representatives are all synonymous terms that denote the same thing. So these similar terms will actually make it difficult for your answer bot to identify the correct articles. So what happens, users might end up duplicating the same article with different titles. For instance, in customer support, operators, agents, representatives, and executives are all used to indicate the same thing. So when a resource who are operators is created to improve the accuracy, users end up making additional resources with similar titles such as who are agents, who are representatives, and who are executives. And this in turn increases the redundancy inside your articles module. So this particular technique is manageable when the total number of resources that you have inside your portal is small. Excuse me. However, if you have hundreds of articles in your knowledge base, it becomes very tedious to start duplicating them and managing them. So this can be overcome by using this feature called business terms. So it's basically going to help you tackle this by allowing you to configure synonymous terms and jargon. For the same example given above, a user needs to group operator, agents, representatives, executives in business terms as one. After the business terms have been added, the user can start creating resources using any of these terms, and the answer bot will train itself and respond correctively irrespective of the term used. So once you've added business terms, bot training will begin after 5 minutes, and every time you make a change, this timer resets. So as you see here, this is the timer. So your bot training will start 5 minutes after each business term has been added, and every time you add a new business term, this timer gets reset to 5 minutes again, and your bot training will begin correspondingly. Let me give you another real-time example. In SalesIQ, we use the term MobiListen to refer to our mobile SDK. So in most of our help documentations, we would have used only the term MobiListen. So if a user asks a question on how to add mobile SDK to their app, the bot might not be able to fetch the right article to help the user. But if we associate the term MobiListen with mobile SDK in business terms, the bot will be able to fetch the MobiListen installation article and provide it to the visitor. Moving on to the advantages of having answer bots for your website. They're super easy and very time efficient to set up. All you need is just 4 to 5 minutes of your time, and you can just quickly finish setting up your bot, because every time you create and set up your brand inside Zoho SalesIQ, we're automatically be creating or generating an answer bot for the same with a default name alias. So all you have to do is just the first level basic configuration, and your answer bot will be all set to be deployed on your business website. And there's no complicated training involved with respect to the answer bot. All you need to do is strengthen your knowledge base. Like I've been stressing from the first part of this webinar, from the first minute, you will have to strengthen your knowledge base for your answer bots to become super efficient and answer whatever query comes their way. So this saves a lot of time and effort that is spent on answering visitor queries on a website. So basically, the stronger your knowledge base, the more efficient your answer bot will be. And there are no specific steps involved for data insertion with respect to the answer bot. Also, the answer bot is not a dead end bot, and no chat is lost, because when visitors don't get an answer to the query that they've put forth, they have the option of connecting with human agents in your organization. And when humans are not around to pick up these chats and answer the queries, their chats will be converted to missed chats. So you don't have to worry about missing out on chats, or your visitors don't have to be worried about not getting an answer to their query. This happens inside the answer bot, inside Zoho SalesIQ. Also, when a codeless bot and an answer bot are deployed, you need to remember, when they are deployed on the same website, the preference will be given to your answer bot. So with this, we've almost come to the end of our session. Let's now have a tiny activity that will help you get started with answer bots. So here we have it. So all you have to do is navigate to your SalesIQ portal. You will have to switch to the new version, SalesIQ 2.0, if you want to be able to set up an answer bot. So go to the resources module. I'll show you where the resources module is. So I missed showing that to you after the resources section, after speaking about them. So I will show you where the resources module in SalesIQ is. So all you have to do is try and add some resources in your SalesIQ portal. Then you configure an answer bot and try deploying it on a demo website. So now I'll just show you where you can add resources inside your SalesIQ portal. So this is my SalesIQ 2.0 portal. So here at the bottom, I have the resources module and all the different categories of resources that I can set up. So let me just show you each of these one by one. I have canned replies. So these are predefined responses to visitor questions, the frequently asked visitor questions. You can add any number of canned responses for your business. Then you have FAQs, frequently asked questions. So let me show you how you can add an FAQ. Say, for example, you want to add an FAQ about setting up Zoho SalesIQ. So let me say, how can I set up SalesIQ for my website? So what am I going to do to make my answer bot more efficient? I'm going to add more variants to my FAQ so that the bot can answer any query that is fired its way. So I'm going to say installing SalesIQ code on my website. How can I add SalesIQ code to my business website? Or I'm just going to add just the keywords. So once I've added all 5 variants, I will get a warning message that says that the question limit has been reached. So here the one marked with the tick mark will be the default question. So you can choose any one of these questions to be the default question, and you add your response. You can also add URLs. You can insert links here. And then you choose the FAQ type, if it can be externally shared or if it's for internal purposes. Then you choose the department you want to associate this particular FAQ with, and then a category. You can add different categories of FAQs. So here you can just click on manage and you can add a new category as well. So I'll just choose this category. And here I can also add related articles. So I can just scroll through the list of all of the articles that I have inside my portal, and I can associate it to anything that's related even remotely. I have quite a big bunch of articles, so I'm not just going to bore you by scrolling through the entire list to find an article related to this. So all you have to do is configure a response. So I'm just giving you a sample response, and I can either save as draft or I can publish. In case I'm not very sure if I should publish the FAQ, I can just save it as a draft for the time being and then publish it later on. So that was about adding FAQs. And then we have articles. So here I have all of the articles that I've configured for my business. So when I click on add, I can add a new article. So I'll give in a title. So when you're entering the title for your article, you'll also see similar titles being populated here. It will give you the number of similar titles that are already available in your knowledge base. So I'll click on done. So the article module in Zoho SalesIQ 2.0 is powered by Zoho Writer. So you can do all of the editing that you do inside your Zoho Writer. You can just type in your content and you can do all the formatting. And when you click on settings, you will be able to configure the article type, if it's external or internal. And then you can also associate a department. And you can choose a category and where you want to display these articles, just for the web or for your iOS and Android SDKs. You can view the version history here, and you can see what's changed. And finally, when you're done, you can just save your article as a draft, or if you want to publish it, you can just go ahead and publish it. Then you have the Smalltalk module. So when I add a Smalltalk module, it's going to ask me if I want to select a Smalltalk package for reference. So I'll just choose default package and click continue. I'm just going to name this Zilka. I can add a description if I want to. So here is the default package. So I can just keep on adding responses to the list that already exists here. Right. So I can add as many phrases as I want to. For each category separately, you have greetings, courtesy, personal inquiries, support, and sign off, like we had already looked at earlier. So you can also duplicate this package by clicking on duplicate. You provide your Smalltalk package a name and then click on add, and your package will be duplicated. Then you have business terms here. So we already have a huge bunch of business terms right here. So I'm just going to click on add terms. And for operators, I will add agents. So you're basically going to be adding synonyms here, representatives. So I can just go on adding terms like these. This will increase the accuracy of your bot responses. And finally, we have UAQs. So in case there are any questions that the bot does not know answer to, these are going to be recorded inside the unanswered questions section. So here I can just click on an unanswered question and I can add it as a new article, add it as a new FAQ associated with an existing FAQ associated with the department, or I can also choose to ignore this particular question. So when I choose ignore, this section will no longer have the question that was ignored. So these are the different options available under UAQs, and you can delete UAQs by clicking on the delete icon. So now it's your turn to start setting up or configuring your answer bot. Just try adding a few resources, sample articles in your resource module in SalesIQ, and try to configure an answer bot and it on your website and tell us how it goes. So we'll have like a quick 5 to 10 minute activity. And in case you have any questions, just feel free to ask us. We're right here to answer all of your questions. So how's everybody doing? Do you have any questions, or are you stuck somewhere? You can use our resources to help you if you're stuck somewhere. Tell us if you've deployed the answer bot, if you were able to make any progress. Just let us know here. You can type out your message and send it out to us so we can read them. Yes, Ian, definitely. I can show you. So Smalltalk is right here. So inside your resources. So this is basically your SalesIQ 2.0 dashboard, right? So here inside the dashboard, you have resources, and then you can find the Smalltalk section here. You're welcome, Ian. Is there anyone that has deployed the bot on your website? case you have more detailed questions about the topics that we had looked at today, please feel free to write back to us at support@zohosalesiq.com. And make sure you follow us on Twitter for more updates on all of our new features. Stay tuned to all of our tweets. And we'll also send you a follow-up email with the recording of the webinar, the slide deck that was used today, and also links to the help documentation so you can get started with building your answer bot. You can also read our forums and you can communicate with us there as well. Hello, Larry. So we'll be sharing the recording of the webinar in the follow-up email that we'll be sending you in about, within 24 hours from now. So don't worry about it. We'll send it to you as soon as possible. Thank you for staying tuned throughout the session, everyone. We were glad to have you on board. We will see you in the next session. And until then, please keep following our Twitter. Please read our forums, and you'll know all about the updates that we're introducing inside the product. Thank you so much. So until next time, bye-bye.